Good morning. Welcome to Winnipeg. Doesn't seem to matter which way we turn this mug, it's going to have interesting stuff on it. Well, I guess we'll have it straight on so you can see the conning tower. Yeah, I guess this mug is more appropriate than any of the others, except on maybe Pizza Day, because we're doing the submarine. So anyway, now, before I forget, Bill. I hope you don't mind if I call you Bill. Your name, I believe, is William. Okay, yes, you are right. Moments ago, I checked the painting and marking guide here, and we are supposed to paint this top thing red. I don't know if it's a light or if it just happens to be red. Maybe I'll have to go through the walkthrough, and I might be able to actually see it. And I'm going to tell us it's actually a little globe that is painted red, and it's a little light that goes off to warn somebody. I don't know. A few moments later, I did go through the walkthrough, and I was able to see this machine, whatever it is. I still can't figure out what it is, unless possibly a high-pressure compressor of some kind. Anyway, we can see this part in question, and it is definitely not painted red, nor was it ever glass. It looks like it was definitely metal. Okay, it doesn't mean that at one time it wasn't originally painted red, but because I do believe at the beginning of this walkthrough, he does have a disclaimer saying that this sub at one time, after it was a German sub, I think it was in some other navy, yeah, so I don't know. I'm sort of debating, do I paint it red or do I just leave it the way it is? Right now I'm sort of leaning towards just leaving it the way it is because it's definitely not glass. We've also got to put a little wheel on the side here. I know it's really small and you can't see, but anyway, this little wheel got to go on the side. Now speaking of the little wheel, I've said this before, but it's amazing what I see when I'm doing my editing or my final edit, because especially on the close-ups, because as I've said way too many times, you are seeing things a lot clearer than I am. And then I get to see them later in editing, and I think, oh my goodness, I did a terrible job painting this little wheel. So I came back to the model table last night, and I did touch it up. I put it in a different tweezer. So yeah, we're ready to go. Now, we have all the pieces now we're in step 50, right? But we've got all the pieces now for 50, 51, and 52. And I think the odd piece for 53. So we are going to be basically just assembling. Everything's painted as near as I can tell, except our little red whatever it is. Yeah, and that shouldn't be too hard. You know, just for the fun of it, maybe I'm going to go through the walkthrough and see if I can spot this and see what is that. It doesn't matter. We got a nice bright day so far. It's cold, minus 13.3. That's still a lot warmer than minus 18 that we had about 48 hours ago. Okay, I think we should just get right into this and stop the chatter. And yeah, step 50. What do we got to do? Well, step 50 involves mounting the platform onto the smaller aft bulkhead. And then I guess we'll be sticking. Well, anyway, let's just slowly, meticulously go through it. I'm going to try and do everything in order here, so I don't paint myself into a corner. But anyway, isn't it nice? All the painting is done, except for a little red thing. Okay, let's get at it here. Okay, here it is. It's after 10 o'clock, and Missy the dog is still in bed, or somewhere. Okay, one thing we know for sure. This little wheel is black. I think I'd better find myself a different pair of tweezers here. We'll recompose. Okay, we're going to use the CA regular here. Now I don't think I should try and put this on with the applicator. I might end up putting it too much, and yet on the other hand, maybe not. I had a toothpick here in my other hand. Oh, I noticed probably about 5 minutes ago, Lorraine went down the street with Missy, so they'll be coming back probably. Yeah, I think that worked. And Max actually got his door open about 15 minutes ago. I heard all this banging going on, and I'm looking, and I noticed that he's got it open. He's got it tied open. I should maybe have the macro lens on, right? I think that's in the right place, or is it? Or did I miss the hole? I'm just going to have to pick this up and look at it here. No, it's in the hole. Yeah, you can see it's in the hole there. Okay, let's just let that dry. And as far as this thing goes, I don't know. I'm still debating. I'm thinking, why not paint it red? You know, at least it'd show up. I'm doing a terrible job here. Okay, I'm going to have to repaint that, obviously, with a number 338 and cover up that red. I hope it'll cover. Okay. On the other hand, I wonder if I was to just paint the entire top there red. After all, that's not glass. How would that look? I wonder how that would look. Just to paint the entire top red. No, I think I'm better off going in there with the 338 undiluted and just touch that up afterwards. Okay, I've changed my mind, and I did paint the base part of that, whatever it is, red as well. I think it looks okay. Saves me having to get out the 338 and try and touch it up later. Now, moments ago, Lorraine was by with Missy, and I didn't have a chance to grab my camera. Everything just happened so fast here. Max is trying to get the ice off of his car right now. He's concerned about his door. So I don't know if there's going to be a Max and Missy show today or not. Now, get this in like this. I think if we, okay, we've obviously got it in the right place. I think if we just use some extra thin along the bottom there. Where's my extra thin? Maybe I'll move it down over here. I ought to use my hypodermic needle, except that I emptied it out. This is working okay. Oh yeah, there's lots going on there. That's going to be a fairly strong joint. As near as I can tell, this is supposed to be at right angles. Yeah, that's going to meld just fine. See how it looks on the front. Yeah, that's going to be okay. It's going to be strong once that dries. And then there's got to be a couple of little pipes here that have to go in and plug in over here. Yeah, I can see where they go. And that would be this one and this one. Now, without using the macro lens, it's kind of hard to see here, but this little peg is actually keyed. It's sort of like a half moon type thing, and if you look closely, you might be able to see that the hole down in the bottom there, I'm just going to see if I can't maybe let gravity be my friend. And I'm just doing a dry run here. It may not go in. It could be that it's going to be a little bit on the, and trying to do this on camera might not work out. I almost get it, but not quite. Yeah, it's sort of in place. It'd be nice if I could just, you know, put just the smallest amount of glue in that. I do believe it's in. Now I'm afraid if I come in with my applicator, it's going to run, and the 66 is going to blend in with the 338. So I'm wondering if maybe I'll take this back out and just put some glue on the bottom of that keyed peg. I'm thinking out loud here. Maybe I'll get my really strong glasses going on here. And let's just give it a try. The worst that can happen is that I'll make a big mess of it. Okay, now let's just moisten the end. Okay, now we'll get this out of the way. Okay, now that red that you see on my fingers, that's from when I painted something red. What was it? Oh yeah, that thing that we thought was maybe a light. Oh, come on. See, if I put my finger there, then I can't see. What's wrong here? Maybe if I use that part as a steady rest. You know, this is so frustrating. I'm going to have to do this off camera. Sorry, folks. Okay, I've got it. And right now, that's the only place it's glued. It's not attached anywhere else. So I'm thinking that maybe it might be a good idea if I could somehow get a little bit of glue just in behind there, because I do believe that this pipe is supposed to go right up against this square box. Okay, let's see if we can get the other one in. Maybe to save a lot of frustration here, I'll just quickly do the other one. The other one goes at more of an angle like this. Somehow. Okay, I'm just going to do the other one quickly off camera and get it done. Okay, our pipes are in place the way they're supposed to be. And I did get a little bit of glue along the sides here underneath. And I did keep it for the most part from not running. You can't see where it, you know, where there's any blending of colors going on that shouldn't be. Okay, now finishing this little part right here completes step 50. We are now on step 51. Okay. Right after I said we are now on step 51, I realized I didn't finish up on this little part right here. If you remember, there was a funny little thingamajig that has to go right on the top there. Okay, and this is it. I think I'll just quickly do that off camera and get it done. Okay, now let's get ourselves readjusted and our exposure corrected here. Okay, we're just gonna do a bit of a dry run here. I'd like to let gravity be my friend here again. Now that goes like that. Then this is supposed to just sort of sit on top of there. Something like that. Okay, yeah, I think that's going to work. It just wants to stay there all by itself, which is a good thing. Maybe what I'm going to do with this part is, let's see now what's going to be the easiest way to put this on. If I hold it like that and then come in like this, see what I want to do is not drop it. Maybe if I come in like that. Yeah, this might work as long as I don't get my fingers in the lens. Okay, let's see if we can get some just on the bottom here. Okay, just don't mind my fingers here. I'm just trying to put a little bit of pressure on it. Okay, that's in place. Now, where this bottom part here touches the bracket, it looks like it's just sort of right there and right there. I'm just going to move this out of the way a little bit here. Now, as near as I can tell, these two little bumps are supposed to be basically horizontal to the rest of the motor, which would mean it should go something like this. I am very fortunate for a man of 78 years old that I have such steady hands most of the time. Okay, we've done this part of 51. Now this part. Remember this thing? We were trying to mess around with that, was it yesterday? And this might be another one of those things that it's going to be a little easier for me to glue up off camera. Because right now, the way the light is, or the way the angle is, I can't really see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to position this thing. Oh, there we go. It's coming. Okay, now this has to go. Okay. You can see that hole there. There's a bit of a tab that it has to go down into. Oh, the heck with this. Okay, I think that's basically it. I think it's supposed to be adjusted so that this is flush like this. Alright, now I think that what I should do here is we'll bring some extra thin. Where is it? Just in from the back there. Just want to double check and make sure I got my angle right, because once this glues into place, I'm not going to be able to, rock it. So, okay, I think I've got it. Okay, yeah, we don't have any serious blending going on there. Just do the front the same way. I'm gonna have to do this off camera. I'm back here, and I gotta work up there. Okay, at arm's length, that's gonna look all right. It's still pretty wet, pretty soft. And I'm just going to have to watch that when I set this down, I'm not setting it down on here, because what will happen is the part is going to push up out of place. It's got to pretty much be suspended the way you see it, like that. So, yeah, I'm just going to prop it up like that on something. Then we'll move on. Okay. Now we have to drop this into this. And right now I'm using it as a holder-upper. So we'll find another place to put this. Okay, now if we follow this arrow down, it points right there. However, where is it on the bottom of this? This has got to be sort of centered, maybe? I would think that, you know what, I think what I should do is find the part. If you remember, this piece that I'm pointing at right now, it actually, let's put this down carefully here. Now we turn this around. Okay, this piece might be fairly strong now, but I still want to be careful with it. Okay, now if this goes in here, but it comes up from the bottom. Yeah, this whole thing is underneath. Like this. Let's be careful now not to knock this off because it's maybe what I should do is be waiting here just a little bit. Maybe I'm trying to rush things. Yeah, this whole thing there's about 4 or 5 millimeters that it can go one way or the other. Okay, let's just wait and let some of our glue dry. We're just doing a dry fit here. I was thinking if I can get these pieces that may or may not want to stay there. It might be just too much of a loose fit. Oh no, here we go. Okay, then this goes in like this. If I could get all of these parts to fit into place, then I could tell where that electric motor is supposed to go. Okay, it's supposed to go something like this. And it looks like, you see on the bottom there, there's a hole there. I think maybe the shaft is supposed to go through that. Let's just carefully see if we can't put this in here. I need extra hands. I need to be an octopus at this point. Okay, so if we go something like this. Oh. Wait a minute. This is supposed to go... Oh, I'm going to break my pipes off here if I'm not careful. It's supposed to go in like this and drop in. Okay. Now, how are we doing on the top side here? Goes like that. Alright, then this, if I could just hold it all together here, being very careful not to break these off. Okay, now then this has to go in that hole. And these are supposed to go in here. Okay, hey, this is sort of falling into place, isn't it? Now we can see how this is supposed to go. Okay, now we'll be able to tell where these brackets are supposed to come. It looks like, let's see if I can just get this there. It's almost in place, but not quite. Just having a little bit of trouble here. You can't see it because it's... Ooh, don't fall over. Maybe if I turn it so that the light is different. I'm holding it from the top here now. Let's try it from the other side. Okay, that's in place. That's in place. Is everything in place there? Is the shaft in the hole? It looks like it is. Okay, now we can tell. Yeah, now we can tell where this is supposed to come. It might... I wonder if I could just somehow glue everything while it's like this. Just, yeah, that's a thought. I'm going to think about that. Okay, I've paged ahead all the way to step 53, and I can't see where gluing these three major pieces in place right now is going to hurt anything. I'm going to leave the motor loose so I can rotate it. But I think that we could probably run some extra thin along in the bottom here. Wonder, maybe I'll use my, I did load up my hypodermic needle, so we'll just use that. And I'm just sort of looking underneath there. Now I don't want to accidentally, okay. Now that actually wicked its way all the way underneath, right to this side here. So I'm going to just put a little bit of pressure on that and see if I can work it down. Oh my, I put in more than I thought. Well, that will dry, and it probably won't be seen. Well, one thing's for sure, it's going to be strong, because once all that melds. Okay, now we'll just do this part right here. Maybe I should have come in from the other side, because the other side we're not going to be seeing, which is really too bad. I don't think we're going to see any of this nice detail where there's the ribs and so on. That's going to be on the back side. We're going to be viewing the entire module from this side that we're looking at right now. Okay, I think maybe what I'm going to do is I'm going to call today's episode a day and let all of this dry. Then I'll be able to put some force on it later. Unless I was to try and... I wonder if I could attach these ribs to this section right here. I'm sure I've got everything the way it is supposed to go, because the tongues of these parts here are in the slots of this part here. And you know, and this one here, it's the same thing. There's basically only one way it can go on, and it's in it right now. So I can't see anything else that we were supposed to put in that we've, you know, once this is all glued together, we're not going to be able to get it apart, because it's, you know, it's fastened up here, right? So here's hoping I did it right. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we're going to see you tomorrow.